Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Lifeology. As always, please like and follow, and we thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get to it. So, I think I want to talk about two things. I really wanted this to be about control, and then as I thought about control, I thought about complaints. And how sometimes I don't know, maybe we get the two confused just a little bit. I'm not really sure. But here's the thing. You really cannot be in control of everything. There are people out there who they want to have control of every aspect. Now, don't get me wrong. I totally understand that as human beings on the planet, we are supposed to be in control. We should have control over our minds. We should be able to control our bodies and our intentions. We want to have control over our assets and valuables and things that are important to us. That doesn't include people, by the way. We really cannot control people. The only people that we might think that we have some control over are our children. And even that's only temporary. We only have control over our children for a very short period of time. And somewhere in that parenting, we should be practical and we should realize that we want to teach them flexibility and we want to be able to demonstrate to them the need to be independent and not be controlled. But that's actually a whole nother episode. So I think that people get so caught up in where they aren't that they forget to be grateful for where they are. That has a lot to do with control too. Because see, if I'm not able to see how far I've come, if I'm not able to see accomplishment, if I'm not able to see progression and upward movement, I might think that I need to grab the bull by the horn some more. And I need to just dig in a little bit harder. I need to have more control over the situation. I need to have more control over a person or a thing. No, we need to make assessments. We need to make hard, honest assessments about where we are in things, where we're going, what the expectation is. Control is wanting to make sure that everything goes just as planned, your way, no flaws, no distractions, no mishaps, no deterrents, no other opinions. How's that been working? Doesn't it seem like every time you're trying to get control of something, other motherfuckers are trying to pull you out of that? Doesn't it feel like every time you're trying to get a grasp and think that we're going to do it this way, that somebody else decides that's not the way, that's not a good answer, you're not going to make me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Control not used properly is the wrong thing. It's the wrong way to feel, the wrong way to be. It's the wrong way to pursue and persist. Balance. Balance is always going to be key to everything in our lives. That is the most critical thing to find. That is the hardest thing to juggle, the hardest thing to keep, quote unquote, control of is balance. When you're in balance, when you're in sync, there's no longer a need to prove. There's no longer that need to validate. Everything is in perfect balance. as it is and as it should be. But when we're not in balance, we tend to complain for sure. Complain. Complaining allows us to have someone to blame, and it inhibits growth. Because think about it, most people, when they're complaining, just most, they don't generally say, I should have done this or I should have done that. Or if they do say it, it's followed by, instead of allowing someone else to influence me, instead of listening to you, instead of listening to her, instead of following him. No, your ass just should have done what you need to do from giddy up, from jump. But it's so much more fulfilling, isn't it? To say that I haven't reached this goal because Sarah Lee stopped me or John Hanks got in the way. Isn't that much more fulfilling? It gives us a reason to believe and understand why we failed, why we procrastinated, why the goddamn job didn't get complete. Because it's someone else's fault. No, it's not anyone else's fault. At the end of the day, decisions that we make, choices that we choose, that we've had time to contemplate and think about and figure out and look at all possible angles, all the potential outcomes, and we still made the decision, well, that's your fuckery. You have to own it. You have to acknowledge it. You have to accept it. And then you got to move the hell on. You got to move on. You can't keep sitting in these places and in these spaces. You can't keep complaining. You can't keep trying to be in control of something that most likely you wasn't in control of anyway. That's why the shit got so out of hand. That's why things didn't go the way you anticipated. Because you were never in control. You never had that shit on lockdown. You never had those finances in the right order that they needed to be. You sure didn't have that chick or that man under your fucking foot. Or things wouldn't have gone the way they did. Do you really want to have somebody underfoot? I don't want that much control. I don't want that type of control. I want balance. I want to be able to balance decisions, choices, outcomes. I guess that's why in accounting it's called balances and checks. Balances and checks. Control brings about complaints. When do we stop looking back and enjoy the journey ahead? When do we stop saying, I'm trying. I am actually looking at a plaque that I have sitting in my office. It says, do or do not. There is no try. Do or do not. I am doing that now. I am working on it. It's in the process. But you're always trying. Try does mean attempt. Put forth an effort until the effort comes up short. So if I am doing, it's already in the making. I'm going to let y'all think about that for a minute. Let that marinate. When you're doing something, you're in the process. You're doing it. When you try something, you're just testing it. I'm going to try this new recipe. Yeah, I want to test it out. I want to see if it's going to work. And I suppose there are times we should try things to see how they work. But when you're doing, you're making it happen. Stop trying and just make it happen. Have control of that. Just do the damn thing. Stop trying. Maybe you're trying too hard. You might not be trying enough. And you can't gauge that. But when you do something, you can gauge progress. You can see it. Yeah. Control looks like sometimes follow me. Sometimes. A weak-minded excuse for control. To manipulate. To put under others underfoot or at bay. To keep a situation locked up. Like you're a prisoner in your own mind. You want to bring other people into that abyss. It's greed. Control is greed. People want to have control of the country. A whole country, not just their house. Not even maybe their city as the mayor. They want to have control of a whole entire nation. So that they occupy the monopoly. So they're able to dictate and direct what they feel should or should not take place. And when we do that, there are always going to be casualties, quite naturally. I just don't choose a life of casualties. That's just not my choice. My choice is a life of balance, where my shit is my shit, and it doesn't have to disrupt anybody else. It doesn't have to control anybody else. It doesn't have to release anybody else. It's just my shit that I'm comfortable with, that I'm accepting of, that I can live with, that I'm doing. There's more to it than that. I just wanted to touch the bases since control reared its evil little head in a conversation I was having today. Do you really want control? Are you really in need of balance? With balance, we don't complain as much. Things are in sync. With the balance, we have more things to look ahead to look forward to. With the balance, we're able to stop, look, and listen. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, this is Lifeology. As always, remember to like and follow. The only thing you can be in control of today is what's going to be your next move. Control that.